Shaw.
Years ago, lived countless times in my mind on a goal poster in an affirmation, humbly and gratefully representing extraordinary others. Congratulations, Shaw area. And thank you to the intelligent, passionate Julia Burnett and her revolution, and to Leah Laughlin, whose wisdom and discipline leads the Unleashed area. Together, we represent many beautiful souls that make up our epic family who are living and working from their strengths and contribution and sweet spot. My deepest respect and gratitude goes to each of you and to God for the generosity of our friendship shared on this journey. Starting here, starting now, one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself is an unwavering commitment to fall in love with the journey. Trust the process. The pursuit of progress is what transforms our lives. As you reflect, even over the past year, you see how random people have become special friends, teachers, or mentors, and how things lined up, seemingly coincidental, bringing you to now. This will continue throughout your life, but your life will be more rich, more fulfilling, more rewarding if you tune in more intensely, pay attention, and get it in the whisper. What do I mean? There's a constant conversation in your head. Do this, don't do that. What if this or that? Make this decision or that. Inside of you is a guiding message. Get it in the whisper. I was in my 4th year teaching junior English at the best public high school in Fort Lauderdale. I loved my job. Between my academic and coaching load, I was working 90 hours a week, earning at that time under $12,000 a year, and I wasn't looking to leave. It's time prohibitive to share the details of that season, but I want to make this connection. To get out of debt, I signed randomly my independent beauty consultant agreement. At that age, I knew a few things for sure. One, I couldn't sell anything. I didn't want to sell anything. But broke can cause you to reevaluate what you are or aren't good at. And so when summer rolled around, instead of coming home to work at Mammoth Cave, I sold Mary Kay products. Our unique culture of celebration, optimistic goal setting, and you can do it philosophy, it had transformed my attitude so much that when I returned to my teaching job in the fall that 5th year, I was caught off guard, feeling misplaced and dissatisfied on what was familiar turf, when I heard God's whisper, get out of here. No, Lord, no, you moved me here for this job. You moved me from Kentucky. I want to teach, I want to speak, I want to write. In my spirit, I sensed his gentle reply, you're going to teach, you're going to speak, and you're going to write, and I'm going to blow your mind, but you got to get out of here. I stayed. I don't know the last time you disobeyed a clear whisper of direction you knew was the right guiding voice, but what followed for me was a very difficult year. Alongside teaching, I did pursue growing my Mary Kay business, but it was hard. The message got louder. Get it in the whisper. If you can get it in the whisper, you don't recycle lessons, you don't lose ground, lose time, delay success. Our world is noisy. Competing interests vie for your time and your focus. What would happen if you gave yourself permission to swell your vision, to dream big, and believe that you can walk in that mind-blowing success? I want to leave you with 6 things I know for sure as you consider taking action on that next whisper. 1, the opposite of good is, no, the opposite of good is best. Good and bad are easy to discern, but good from best, it requires keen discernment and often carries a higher price. Time invested in one area, doing one thing, it's time away from another. So your choices matter because success results from a daily action repeated over time. Success accumulates, but so does failure. No one action in one day will take you down, nor will one effort on one day build success. It's the series of choices over time, with few exceptions, will be defined by the choices we make. I can't change what I won't acknowledge, but in the whisper, I'll know best. Each day you make a best decision, living your priorities, you're improving your life, and you're accumulating an outcome. It takes mindfulness and self-control to choose best over good in the private moment when nobody's watching. Grabbing a win, doing what you said you'd do. Your best affects not only you, it impacts others, but so does your worst. We need your best. The world needs your best. What daily win added up over time would make the biggest difference for you? Hint, It's the thing you debate, you put off, you justify doing later. Where do you know right now that you could swap best over good in your life? Get it in the whisper. 2, success is built in your daily routine, and habits are your secret weapon. When you see successful, seemingly disciplined people, what you're really seeing are people who've developed just a handful of good, clearly defined habits and who've integrated them into their daily lives. You don't break a bad habit white-knuckling it out. You replace it with a better, more thoughtful, more intentional one that will serve you and those you love most in a healthier way. You won't change your life in any significant way until you change something you do every single day. Frame your day. Frame your day. Have structure for the first 2 hours and the last hour of every single day. Habits that set you up in the morning for whatever comes at you, and then in the evening, habits that wind you down physically and emotionally to rest so that you can reset for another successful day. Frame your day. You'll be more equipped for the unexpected in the middle. You can't live a perfect day until you outline it, but when you define a winning day, when you stop dreading tasks and you just focus on winning in your choices, your controllables, the game changes. Every day, grab a win before 10. Private victories precede public victories, because whoever you are in private, wherever you go, there you are. It's who you are. So a change in zip code won't change a lot. What is one thing you keep meaning to do? Stop doing, start doing, pick one. Get it in the whisper. Number 3, your thinking controls your outcome. The most respected experts in current neuroscience agree that 75 to 95% of illnesses that plague us today are a direct result of our thought life. What we think about affects us physically and emotionally. Society today is burdened with an epidemic of toxic emotions, but not you. You've been inundated with the truth of a positive thinking, a 55-year legacy from our founder, so far before her time in absolutely every facet of life. You know from Mary Kay Ash, what you think about, you in either direction. Everything you do, take action on, whatever and whoever you become. It starts with a thought. I'll challenge you to think about what you're thinking about. Because if our thoughts go wrong, everything goes wrong, because your behavior, it's going to follow your brain. To quote one of my favorite neuroscientists, every time you say a negative statement, you release negative quantum energy throughout your body that affects the environment of your brain, which then affects the rest of the body and puts it into toxic stress. Your thoughts matter. Any thought you don't master will master you. We are not victims of our DNA. Park on it, delete it, or replace it. This is the epitome of free will. God created us with a brain and the ability to choose and to think. Your thoughts and mine, they take up valuable mental real estate, like in Monopoly. Some property's just better than others, and what you park on gets bigger. Your thoughts are that property. Management of thought is a key to success. So instead of letting unwelcome or fear-driven thoughts replay and run wild in your brain, pay attention to the thought not serving you well. Capture it. Replace it with another better one. What entertains you, trains you. Before smartphones and easy recording back in the day, we used a Radio Shack pillow speaker. Anybody? It plugged into the end of a handheld cassette tape player, and it looped over and over, recorded messages that had your affirmations on it while you slept. We went to the trouble to train ourselves in the thoughts we wanted to own. Current society, we're exposed to over 5,000 advertising images a day, and that doesn't include those you go after on social media. You'll eventually be shaped in the image of the loudest voice in your life, and that voice will have competition. Decide your goal and then touch your dream often. See it, listen to it, speak it, repeat it. You won't produce in actuality what you haven't visited in your mind countless times. But what is in your mind is who you'll be, because what entertains you trains you. Get it in the whisper. Number 4, comparison is a thief of your potential. You were born with unique talents and strengths. Uniquely you. And Gallup has identified 34 strengths in the human species, and only 1 in 33 million will have the same combination of strengths as you. Life has already given you clues, feedback in certain situations, in your approach with others. Continue to walk in your unique thumbprint, in your strengths. If I compare, I'll pit your best Instagram moment against my loudest insecurity on my worst day. Perception, true or false, will be your reality. You argue for your limitations, and you'll get to keep them. When you hold your own standards high, when you're giving your best where you are, you'll be less tempted to compare. Comparison invites either pride or jealousy. It causes us to think that other people get there more naturally, and it's just not true. NSD Leah Laughlin has driven both playfully and forcefully this thing. You can do hard things. You never cross over to something greater or rewarding without personal growth and conflict, so don't be surprised by the storm. Doing something easy and without resistance is not a sign of being on the right path, just as obstacles and challenge aren't an indication that you're on the wrong one. What would happen if you had no doubt or fear of the journey? What goal would you attempt? What kind of courage would you have? You can do, become, or have anything you want if you're willing to work hard and pay the price. Every success starts small. Put yourself in situations that grow, stretch, and cost you. Embrace the uncomfortable. It's the only way to grow confidence, by stepping outside your comfort zone and learning that you can count on yourself. You're going to make mistakes. Instead of dodging them at all costs, embrace them as your new classroom. Don't waste disappointment, rejection, failure, or suffering. They're the fertilizer for your greatest lessons, personal growth, and overcoming opportunities. Get it in the whisper and pivot. Mark Twain said, "A man who carries a cat by the tail learns something he can learn in no other way." In my observation, those who play it safe and work to keep from losing, they've already lost. Comparison delays. It delays becoming the masterpiece God designed you to be. So swim in your lane and compare your now to your best. Your next depends on what you do now. So don't lose time or confidence in comparing. When you put everything on the line for your goal, it's then that you win, no matter the outcome. Number 5, you become an average of the 5 people you surround yourself with. Take it to the bank. Relationships make you better, bitter, or worse, but nobody leaves us neutral. You may need to draw some boundaries. Tune out people who don't want you to grow and change. Who I am is who I attract. So if I want higher quality friends, I can improve myself or even reinvent myself. Be less concerned with getting likes and more concerned with liking yourself. If you didn't have a reputation, which one would you build or create? Start that reputation with the next word you speak. If you surround yourself with people who tell you what you want to hear, the story of your life will only be as big as the emotional and spiritual health of those people. Just like you wouldn't go to a dentist who has no teeth, consider advice you take through that filter, and then bring others along. A team of 1 has limitations, but me plus you, we're 2. And together, 1 + 1, we defy that mathematically, because the 2 of us, we can impact countless others exponentially. When we help others get what they want, then you and I, we get what we want. Our opportunity, branded with a purpose, the new Great Start that has enhanced every new independent beauty consultant who walks into our world. Together we can experience our company's richest days, and I believe we are. The relationships in your life, who are your 5? Who needs to go? Who will you bring along? Get it in the whisper. Number 6, character matters. True success is in this order: be, do, have. You'll never regret taking care of your health, sharing your wealth, using good manners, or having integrity. Anything that's an enemy to your body is an enemy to your potential. If we're building financial wealth as a goal that you have in the meantime, choose to be healthy in other ways. We all have a default, a go-to, a mood, a saying, a posture. Let your default be gratitude. Gratitude is the elixir. It opens doors for more opportunity, appreciation for what and who is in your day, even in your way. Reminding yourself and others of all you have to be thankful for. It shows character. Manners are always in style. Opening or holding a door, giving away your rightful parking spot, a smile, eye contact, a kind word, a polite gesture. Mary Kay taught us we all wear that invisible sign that reads, "Make me feel important." People will forget what you say, but they'll always remember how you made them feel. Keep your word. Show up. Bring your best. What you put into someone else's life will come back into your own, so take the high road. You'll never be held accountable for words you don't speak or post. You know what to do. Get it in the whisper. And while you're at it, be kind to yourself. There's no such thing as perfection. There's an old person down inside of you that's depending on you to be smart. It's the person you're going to be 20 to 40 years from now. Don't disappoint that person by being foolish through the strongest years of your life. You can be a passive victim of circumstance, or you can be the active hero of your own life story. Character invites you to choose courage. Will you choose courage or comfort? The pain you experience outside your comfort zone, it never seems worth it in the middle, but I will tell you that you're pushed to the other side of your circumstance, your growth, your grief, whatever you're going through. If you keep your eye on the victory, it will be worth it. And you'll emerge a more refined, more powerful, more confident, more successful version of yourself. Stop looking for easy. Just be willing to go to work, pay the price, learn the business, live your best, and bring value to every encounter. The most inspiring person in the room is the person who's overcoming the fear of doing something, not the seemingly natural gifted. Passion trumps talent. The stories that inspire us are those grounded in hard work and vision, tenacity, overcoming, and grit. You can't start the next chapter of your life if you're reliving the last one. I hope you hear me loud and clear. Readiness is not a prerequisite for success. Willingness is. There's a character in willingness. Last year I talked about engaging your own activation ritual by counting down 3, 2, 1, go, to move into action when you hear the whisper. Success doesn't work, ready, set, go. It's go, ready, set. Whether you're 18 or 80, like Julia said, the rest of your life can be the best of your life. You are more than enough. Along this journey, you'll have what you need when you need it. Trust the process. Action will cure anxiety. Work will diminish worry. Faith will crush fear. You'll only stay where you are if you choose fear over faith, courage, and adventure. There's so much more for you. There's so much more for you. Choose well this year and do your best to get it in the whisper. Thank you, Diamond Seminar.